can now change the volumes because I have added the mods. Hello, we are back. We are back.
Hi.
We are back with the Umineko. We're going to be doing the tea party today. Don't know.
I got myself a tea for it.
Yes, I don't know. I've already drunk all my tea. I was waiting.
Brooklyn.
I was waiting for you.
I'm sorry. The bus was taking a while.
Yes. Well, we've got the 07th mod. So we've got little Beatrice up here. Some new fonts. And we're gonna start with the tea party. Episode
It's a party.
1. Tea party. It's a party. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can turn
Party.
down the volume. Purgatorio. Oh, Purgatorio.
I love how Dante's Inferno is here.
Posh.
Oh, the background.
Oh, he's got a voice!
Fucking-
Hold on. Options!
Connie Springer.
How do I turn down... Okay,
Oh,
I've turned down the music.
voice. Is it voice down?
Oh. We think a low one like that?
Yeah. We'll have the original voices, but also you.
We can just do 0.
We could do 0.
Yeah, so no voice comes up.
No voice.
Or I'm forced to do things. Oh, also, I know I'm gonna get this comment. I specifically chose the pachinko pachinko sprites.
I can't believe her.
I love the pachinko sprites, especially with the fuck-ass voices I keep giving them. Okay, but now we can actually read who's speaking. Oh man, I still don't know. I still don't have a clue what was going on when the story ended. So, just what happened? Oh, do we want to do British Jessica? Because for some reason... So, I put on this mod. And it said, censor British Jessica. And I have no clue what that means. And Mia doesn't either. So...
You know what? She's British for the tea party.
Yes. So, what just happened? Was that basically the ending? Where time runs out before the culprit gets exposed? Ewe. Definitely a bad ending. Ewe. That's right. This is, okay, for context, this is the first recording in about 2 or 3 weeks that we've done. Okay. Beatrice's letter, which Maria Chan read on the first day, didn't tell us in advance to solve the riddle of the epitaph. We were all so busy trying to protect ourselves and look for the culprit that we didn't even take a shot at it.
You were kind of going southern there as well, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
George is part southern to a fault.
See, I kind of end up starting at Jennifer Coolidge and ending at Owen Wilson. That's the problem. That's right. If we'd actually tried to solve the riddle, things would have ended differently. I wonder about that. Shannon-chan, you did a good job too. You fucking died. You don't have to be a waitress and get served tea. After all, this is a rap party. As a group of people who met a horrible fate, let's all get along and lick each other's wounds. Why are we licking people?
Kinky?
Licky licky lick. Speaking of that horrible fate, Shannon beats the rest of us hands down, doesn't she? She was such a beautiful character, so I thought she'd definitely survive until the very end. But she was killed right from the beginning, and on top of that, what was it? Half of her face was smashed, right? That's the worst! Fuck, what voice did I give Shannon?
She was British, but like... she's dinner lady British.
That was my role. There was no way around it. Nesan, it's nothing more for you to worry about. Judging by the last epilogue, even Milady and the rest of them met an extremely tragic end. Ha 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 ha. It seems so. I don't know where we're going with this. George escaped from my clutches. It's just like Rudolph. It seems so. I think I better see this horrible fate. This is what my voice came to. This is what my voice has come to. You get no more Silicon Valley. You get the real me. Okay, what was the Silicon Valley accent? I think I remember seeing this horrible picture, kind of like, oh my god, George Coolidge is trying. Kind of like my entire body had been eaten apart and dismembered. Speaking of which, don't you think Kanon's last moments were the coolest? Even though he had the tables turned on him, it was a showdown with the culprit, right? It's a whole bunch better than our confusing moments, right? Though, in the end, I was unable to get a solid hit. Still, I think Kanon-kun's death was a big hint. After all, because of that, the existence of the 19th person was made clear. That's right. At the time, everyone's locations was obvious. So, it was you say that and you still accuse Kumasawa. So it was impossible for anyone other than some unknown 19th person to kill Kanon. Well, I said it was Beatrice from the beginning. Over and over.
Sassy Maria?
Yeah. Also, I think now that I've added the mod, there might be the murder scenes now. I hope so.
Yes!
I didn't actually see anything about it, but it's changed a lot of the layout. I don't want to believe it, but that does prove a culprit was a witch calling herself Beatrice. That's right. There were many strange things that happened that a human couldn't do. Well, only a witch could do things like murdering Aunt Eva in the closed room. Why is... Okay, she's just partially American accent. I keep fucking that up with Maria. A human couldn't do it. Well... Not only is the existence of a 19th person clear, but it's also obvious that this person holds a power that humans can't even imagine. In that case, I don't think there's anything wrong with calling this person Beatrice. We're probably gonna get told in the comments what British Jessica means, and it's gonna be nothing.
Hold on, I'll look up what it means. So,
yeah.
Guys, don't spoil anything for Brooklyn. It's mean if you do that. Don't do that to poor Brooklyn.
By the time this video is up, we'll probably be halfway through chapter 2.
Yeah.
We probably met at the very end. Met with the Golden Witch. Like I keep saying, Beatrice exists. It all went bad because no one ever believed. Even one of her witch friends say that miracles won't occur if you don't believe.
I found what British Jessica is. I don't even think it's like a voice thing or a spoiler in that regard. She's wearing a Toho cosplay.
What does Toho mean?
You don't know what Toho is? T-O-U-H-O-U?
I've heard of it. I just don't. Nothing's coming to mind because the only Toho that's coming to mind is
Bad Apple. That's.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. When I heard of Toho, I was thinking of the publishing company, and I'm like, what does that mean?
No, Toho. So apparently, in the original, Jessica is wearing a Toho cosplay, but in the PS3 version, they change both the song and outfit, and I can't really make sense of it.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's right. Beatrice-sama is generous to those who respect her. It seems to me that when Maria-sama was ever a target of Beatrice-sama's wrath, up to the very end, despite the horrible crimes that occurred one after the other. Well, Maria believed in Beatrice from the very beginning. But if that's the case, how do you explain why you and the rest were all killed? You guys believed in Beatrice just as much, right? Beatrice-sama probably had her reasons. If the song on the epitaph represented Beatrice-sama's resurrection ceremony, many sacrifices were needed. He simply must have designated to be one of those. Sharon-chan, you met a horrible end. At the very least, I wish your death could have been more peaceful and pretty. Weirdo. Well, it's not like it hurt. Anyway, right now I'm perfectly fine, so don't worry. After seeing him stroke Shannon's cheek, which had been crushed during the story, everyone laughed out loud, smiling. Well, it feels a bit weird saying this, but I was sure this story would fit into my standard mystery genre, but I'm surprised to find out it's a fantasy. After all, a Western mansion shut away from the outside world on an isolated island with an inheritance problem on everyone's minds. It sounds like a typical mystery novel to me. That southern accent is fighting to come out.
I know!
It's not a fantasy. Beatrice exists. Hello? Yes, we understand. Beatrice-sama does exist. That's right. Beatrice-sama does exist. I hate to admit it, but I've got no choice. I don't know which I like, but I think I need to give one of the witches that British Jessica voice. Because I love doing that so much. But I've got no choice. Besides, it's obvious that a 19th person, a witch, was involved. Many things like that happen. It's impossible for humans.
Wait, you can do that voice for Angie.
Angie, okay. Whenever Angie comes up, she's that voice. She's British Jessica. During the story, we tried to deny that in all sorts of ways. But now I can say it for sure. Each crime, every single one, would have been impossible for a human. They had been impossible to carry out unless it was the witch Beatrice using all of the power magic could provide. The culprit was a witch. That point's perfectly clear. Long live Beatrice. Ha! Ewo! Everyone believed. I'm so glad. Ewo! Gods and witches might seem terrifying to people who are frightened of them, but I think they might be affectionate to those who believe and respect them. I think you're right. So, this murder case... I'm peeking the mic every time I do that. So, this murder case is finally over. Now it's time to pull ourselves together and try hard to solve this riddle of the epitaph, just like Beatrice said, right? Ewo, I agree. Beatrice would definitely be happy. Haha. Everyone ignored that letter during the story. Even though it was thrust right in front of us, we almost completely ignored it. I feel kind of sorry for Beatrice-sama. I've got the epitaph written down right here. Let's all solve it. Let's all solve it. The story probably went wrong since that time. That may be so. Maybe you should have tried solving the epitaph's riddle from the beginning, like Beatrice said. Are we talking in circles? I swear to God, I've said that 3 times. Well, it's a little late now. Even so, let's try solving it now and see if the witch forgives us. Let's go. Let's try and solve the riddle of the epitaph. It was something like, behold the sweet fish river running through my beloved hometown. Maria put her notebook on the table and opened to a page where the epitaph was written. Everyone stared at it, getting really into it as they started guessing this and that about the riddle. Surrounded by the smell of black tea and freshly baked vanilla cookies, they spent the time comfortably and happily.
Yummy!
Hold on a second, you guys. Badler spoke in a way that cut through the conversation. His expression looked a little unhappy. What could he not like about all this fun? I've been listening to you guys for a while, but Why did you all stop thinking? That's the way to put it.
What?
Why are you so sure that the witch was behind this all? Just way to say that your cousins are dickheads. Don't you realize that something like that can't exist? With those words, the happy atmosphere surrounding the tea party evaporated in an instant. George and Jessica, and Shannon and Kanon, and Maria, all of them stared blankly, wondering what in the world Battler was talking about. Even the foolish, arrogant Battler realized he hadn't chosen his words well. Because, isn't it clear that these crimes were impossible for a human? That's right. None of these cases would have been impossible for a human. That's true. After all, it wasn't full of things that humans couldn't explain. I don't understand what you're saying, Battler Summer. I'm the one who doesn't have a clue what you guys are talking about. Isn't it obvious that humans committed these crimes? There's no way something like a witch exists, right? Then, what about when I was killed in the storehouse and something horrible was done to half my face? If the culprit was a human, how could they have accomplished it? Well, it's hard to imagine how they did something like that awful. But that was in the Rose Garden storehouse, right? I'm sure there were plenty of weird tools there. Let's say they used some electrical tools, like a grinder on an electric saw, or an electric saw. Then, Battler, how do you explain Grandfather's disappearance from the study when it was a closed room? Even though the door was sealed, Grandfather just suddenly disappeared. Right? Are we going to have the same conversation about how the stupid room was a closed room? But then no, it wasn't. He just hid there.
About this in episode 7, so you'll get used to this exact conversation on how he. Oh
my god!
At least I know. There's a lot that gets talked about in episode 7.
Even though the door I'm loud. Okay. Even though the door was sealed, Grandfather just suddenly disappeared, right? We talked about that during the story too. It's not impossible that Grandfather used some trick to fool the receipt. It's also possible that he went out the window, fell down, and Aunt Nutsy locked the window from the inside. I could think of a bunch of tricks you could use without relying on magic. That makes sense, but... In that case, Battler-kun, how do you explain the way my parents were killed in the guest room? The door was sealed by a lock and chain. Chain! Naturally, the window was sealed too. How do you think a human could have killed my parents? Well, first of all, stop making that fucking voice. We did leave the trick alone during the story. Oh my god, I keep getting a little blockage in my nose and it's bothering the way I speak. Anyway, there's at least a good chance the culprit had a key. And it was possible to look through the crack of the door that the chain allowed. I know this is a stretch, but it's possible that some device was used through the crack. Like, maybe they stuck something through it. Well, even a door and chain is incredibly simple. It's a big factor in setting up a closed room. Still, there's probably some closed room trick they could have used. If you bought some closed room mystery novels from the bookstore, you could probably find some trick that'd fit perfectly. Anyway, I can't think of one now, but I claim that there's nothing humans can't do if they try hard enough. Isn't that argument horribly irrational? It's just ridiculous to claim that it's possible for a human to do something even though you can't explain how. Why is that ridiculous? Like your voice? Why did you all stop thinking? Even something that looks impossible has to be doable. Doesn't it always work like that? Battler, you're the one being ridiculous. If you think a human could have done it, try explaining how. You can't, can you? And you're okay with saying the culprit is a witch because I can't explain it? With that argument, all the unsolved crimes in the world could be resolved by saying a witch is the culprit. Battler, you're the one sidestepping the issue. Aren't you? You aren't explaining anything. We're saying a human couldn't have done it. Therefore, the culprit is something that isn't human. And that something is a witch. And yet you keep arbitrarily, that's a big word, arbitrarily deciding that witches are impossible, even though you can't explain anything. It's almost like humanity was during the Dark Ages. Like those fools who claimed the heavens spun around the earth. And those who said the earth couldn't be spinning even though they couldn't explain why. That kind of argument pisses me off. So, this is basically what you're trying to say. If I can't explain how humans couldn't do it, then I must accept that the culprit is a witch? It's not like we're forcing you to go that far. We were just wondering on what basis you can say such nonsense. Ooh, Kanan's calling you an idiot. Ooh. Nonsense. Hey, have I really been saying something that weird just now? Am I the one who's crazy? You guys are really starting to freak me out. Battler Summer. When I died in the boiler room, I was killed by a 19th person who shouldn't exist. Can you explain how a human could have done that? At the time, the locations of all 18 were well known. Even so, I was killed. You're also all talking, even though you died. We talked about that in the story as well, right? Kumasawa Bachan, for example. She said she followed right after you and headed down to the boiler room, but we can't know for sure whether it was a lie or not. For all we know, she might have entered the boiler room with you and caught you by surprise. Or maybe, when you stepped into the boiler room, you activated some kind of trap, one that might have set up to hit you with one of those ice picks. After all, the stink of Grandfather's body was coming from the incinerator. Someone was bound to go check it, so if the culprit had just set a trap beforehand, they could have easily stayed away from that place and used the time of Kanokun death to create an alibi. You talk about that trap in the boiler room, but what kind of trap could that be? Yeah, that's right. Following his death, everyone immediately ran over to the boiler room. But we didn't find any weird device, did we? That is correct. Butler Summer, what kind of trap could I have been killed with? Well, I don't know that. But anyway, they must have used some sort of clever trap, or maybe someone's lying. Well, what about this? Kanokun, what if the whole thing was just you play acting? That's it, you were play acting. Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi were also play acting. They made the closed room themselves and were only pretending to be dead. Battler, how's your head been, feeling okay? Should I bring some cold drinks? Don't look at me with those pitying eyes. What I'm saying, I'm not saying something that crazy, right? You kind of are. I'm just pointing out some possibilities you might find if you think of that as all a trick. Look, isn't it a pretty classic trick in a mystery story to have one of the victims just be playing dead? A classic trick? A classic trick? In other words, when Kanokun was killed, we knew for sure where all the rest of us were. And let's assume that Kumasawa Bachan wasn't lying. But that's only counting the survivors. What if the culprit pretended to be dead and joined a group of real victims, so we'd lose track of them and then acted on their own later. Everything would be explained. Huh? So you're trying to say that Aunt Ava or one of the others was the culprit? But didn't Dr. Nanjo confirm all of their deaths as a doctor? That's right. Dr. Nanjo checked all of the victims. Battler Summer, for your theory to work, wouldn't Dr. Nanjo have to be one of the culprits too? Yeah, that's right. Once you consider that Dr. Nanjo might have been one of the culprits and faked the proclamation of death, the whole story changes. See, that's also a classic trick in mystery novels, isn't it? But Dr. Nanjo was also killed, right? About that. That's right, Dr. Nanjo faked his death. After all, there wasn't anyone except Dr. Nanjo who could examine the corpses properly, and everyone was really confused then anyway. We didn't have any spare time to check and see if he still had a pulse. With this theory, one of the dead people could have been walking around. I think it would have been hard for the 6 of us who died in the beginning to do that. After all, the shutter was closed and there was a padlock that couldn't have been opened from the inside. That's right. Mum was holding on to that key.
Mum!
So, Mum was one of the culprits as well? Wait a sec. Maybe it was impossible for the first 6. In the case of Anaki's parents, the door was only locked on the outside, so they could have opened it from the inside. That's right. After we left the room, maybe they jumped out the window and got to the boiler room first. Is that too much of a stretch? Or maybe Dr. Nanjo made a mistake when examining the corpses? Look, he said it himself, right? He said there's a very high probability of making a mistake when examining the corpses. If you disguised it well enough or prepared a substitute body, you can fake your own death. Let's leave the method or trick they used for later. And you see, it's not that hard to deny a 19th person existed, right? Much less a witch, right? At least that much is completely impossible. Boom, bitch, Beatrice. I don't know why you've been trying to so stubbornly say that one of us is the culprit. Kihi, in other words, you want to suspect one of your relatives. That's not it. It's just, I can't accept that a 19th person existed, and even if one did, I think we should construct our argument from the point of view that the culprit was a human. I'll only accept that it's a witch in desperation, at the very end after everything else has been disproved. There's no way witches exist, right? Why has everyone been so casually accepting that the culprit was a witch? I think it's great how your family loves to make you hate the thought of someone so close to you as a murderer. But is it okay to let that fool you? Don't you want to find the detestable culprit who killed so many people? Anaki, don't you want to avenge your parents? Jessica, don't you want to avenge Kanon-kun? And Kanon-kun, don't you want to avenge Shannon-chan? Shannon-chan, you should at least want to know who it was that killed you. Why has everyone totally surrendered and decided the culprit was a witch? What's wrong with all of you? The foolish and short-tempered battler tried to force his ignorance on others and yelled at them. However, everyone just looked at him pityingly, silently watching over him. At the time, the wise Maria laughed and pointed out Battler's mistake.
She's got a PhD.
She does. Kihi, I'm shocked. All I see is you repeating this nonsense, thinking you've figured something out, Battler. So, what's next? How would a human do it? In practical terms, I mean. I imagine you'll just say, I just can't think of anything now, or with some kind of device, using abstract words to run away and evade the topic. What I really want to know, Battler, is this. Why don't you believe in Beatrice? She exists. So why don't you believe? Because she doesn't exist. Witches don't exist. There's no way. It's almost like a spoiled child who doesn't want to accept something. The pitying gazes quietly closed around Battler, but they didn't reach his stubborn heart. You realize that you're acting like a spoiled brat, throwing a tantrum, right?
Brat Battler.
Bratler. Oh my god, my gain. Battler-sama, I understand your feelings, but Beatrice does exist. Battler-kun, why don't you believe? Even though there was so much proof. I don't accept the argument that witches must have been behind everything, because I just can't explain it. Does this mean that if you don't know how the light bulb shines, the magic is the cause? That's wrong, isn't it? There's nothing that can be explained without magic. All of the witches and the magic is just abdication of thought. You just surrendered and gave up because you don't understand what happened. Isn't that right? Well, unsurprisingly, it looks like you alone won't believe, no matter what, Battler. Even if a single person doesn't believe, the miracle won't occur. If you don't rethink your ignorant theories, the miracle, the magic, won't be completed. Now I see. I finally figured it out. It was you! So, in other words, you guys are trying to force me to say that the witch exists, right? A lie that everyone accepts becomes the truth. Is that what all this is about? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I kept going on about this. But what you're doing is all useless. I refuse. You guys are oppressing me, and that's why I think it's all useless. Why?
Nande?
I kind of want to hear the voices, like, just a little bit for, like,
So cool.
Okay, exit. I just read what it said. Sorry, but why don't you let me spin the chessboard around one last time? If you want to force me to accept... Okay, I just literally want to hear what Maria sounds like. If you want to force me to accept that there's a witch, there's a really easy way. And it's not the indirect way of saying it must be a witch because humans couldn't have done it. All you have to do is show me a witch doing it with magic. Doing what? Doing what with magic? Oh my god, let Maria talk, please.
And I heard you like magic. She's got a wand and a rabbit.
Alice in Wonderland, cool. But it's Umineko.
Battler is Chapel Roan.
Battle Roan.
Battle Roan.
Battle Rome. Furthermore, what Maria said earlier is what really dig her grave. I would assume dug is the word. You said that if even one person doesn't believe, a miracle won't occur. But real miracles happen whether real people believe them or not. Even if I alone don't believe. So, any miracles or magic or witches that exist, only because I believe them are downright lies. That's it. That's all I get to fucking hear from Maria. Excuse me. I just get to hear her sigh.
Watch her talk, like, the second after you turn the voices down.
The uneasy mood following Battler's ignorant rant was blown away by a very soft and light laugh. Whose laugh? Battler was surprised. He had never heard that voice before.
Wait!
When he looked at George and Jessica and Shannon-chan and Maria, he noticed they'd suddenly gone respectfully silent.
My queen!
Ooh!
Beatrice!
Beatrice!
Wait, sorry, I took your line, sorry. I was thinking what Maria was saying.
Beatrice! Yoy. Okay, I can turn off the thing now.
You can go Irish now!
Okay. How do I do this? Irish. How amusing. I haven't met such a charming human for quite some time. What? Who are you? Don't you even know the host of the tea party you're invited to? Is this what you envisioned when you wanted me to speak Irish as Beatrice?
Yes. Yes.
How amusing indeed. This is Beatrice Summer, the golden witch who has lived for 1,000 years. It is an honor to be graced in your presence, Beatrice Summer. Please forgive Battlerkin's ranting. This guy's just stubborn, and he still doesn't understand the situation he's in after this chapter. After this tea party. I'll go back to Valley Girl Jessica.
He needs to go back to Valley Girl.
I'm just gonna say kiki. What a treat this is. Most witches get tired of living after the first 1,000 years. Reading this after watching Freerun is really funny to me. Having that perspective. How nice it is to meet a man with a backbone such as yourself every once in a while. It is quite an honor to be present when Beatrice shows herself Battler.
She's British as well now.
She heard Beatrice and was like, I need to be from...
We need to be from the British Isles, everyone!
That's what I was thinking. We need to be from the
that's
British
why
Isles.
Jessica's suddenly British as well.
How? Astonishing. Are you really that desperate to make me believe that is a witch? Give me a second, I need to close my door. My cat kicked it open.
Maple!
I don't know where she is. She's like... She kicked it open and I think walked out when she noticed I wasn't paying attention to her.
You know what? Beatrice does have a laugh. I should really show it to you. Hold on. Let me...
I could probably turn on the voice again. I'll be back in a second. Just need to close this door.
Why is there an ad for a 3-second video?
Bro, I was trying to, what's it called? I was trying to open a 2-second video and an unskippable 30-second ad came up and I'm like, are you kidding?
Oh no, that's the Red Truth sound. Where is Beatrice laugh? I can't find her. Oh wait. 1 hour of silence occasionally broken by Beatrice laughing.
The 19th person is the culprit? This is starting to get interesting. And it's all useless. Oh my god, you're useless. You must be an illusion that Maria and the others are creating, the witch Beatrice. And you'll only be allowed to exist if everyone believes it. You have that kind of a half existence, right? That's why you want me to make... That's why you want to make me believe too. You can't exist because I alone don't believe in you. Isn't that right? Okay.
Irish.
I'm trying to like work it up.
The Blarmy Stone or whatever it's called.
Your powers of comprehension aren't bad for a mere commoner. Who knows? Sorry. A mere commoner who knows nothing about magic. Yes, it seemed like you were born with a strong magic resisting power. You're the natural enemy of us witches. No matter how much we turn your world upside down, you're never... Oh my god.
You're Neville.
You'll never. You're...
Neville Longbottom.
You never believe in us. I was trying to say Yule, and I was like, oh, Yule is not in that sentence. You never believe in us. Therefore, the magic won't succeed. I accept that attitude of yours. Oh, I love that laugh. Very, very cute. I'm turning off her voice now. I've got no clue what you're saying. Ha! It's very kind of you to go to all the trouble of showing yourself to us, but I don't believe you exist in the slightest. It's true that many strange things have happened during those 2 days. Like Maria said earlier, even though I think all the tricks could be explained, I still can't lay out the practical details of each one. However, that doesn't mean I'll surrender. I'm different from the rest of them. Got it? I'll never accept that it was the work of the witch because I can't explain it. Just because I can't explain it. This keeps getting more amusing. Making you surrender will be worth my while. You're just the kind of man I'd like to force into praising my name. I'd love to try making a man like you kiss my toes.
Foot fetish?
Damn, Beatrice has a foot fetish. I also think I'm like wavering between Irish and Scottish with my voice.
Oh well, you'll go Welsh eventually as well.
If you want to talk nonsense, talk all you want. I deny you exist, even though you are right in front of me. All of the events can be explained with human tricks. There's no room for even a speck of magic or witches. Wonderful! What a perfect way to divert oneself from 1,000 years of boredom! Oh, wicked. Then let me ask you. A short while ago, you said that using the crack in the door would be sufficient to kill Ava and Hideyoshi, right? Explain how they could have killed using some human trick. Huh. Suddenly jumping right to the toughest part, aren't you? Does that mean this is the trick you're proudest of? Miss Real Culprit? Ooh. Confetti. With the shake of her golden pipe, gentle multicolored smoke trailed out the end. The smoke quickly obscured their surroundings, and they were suddenly in a hallway of the mansion. Ooh, you spin me right round, baby, right round.
Like a record, baby.
The door in front of them, slightly opened but still secured by the chain, was, that's right, this is the door to the room where Eva and Hideyoshi were killed. Nice trick. Very well. Show me what you'd do through this small crack, Butler. They probably had some sort of device to shoot those ice picks. if they use that. How would they reach Ava on the bed when you can't see that far through the crack? And how would they reach Hideyoshi in the bathroom with the door shut? Damn, there's a crack. There should be a Holocene Brooklyn. Damn, there's a crack. There should be some way. If you can't think of one, allow me. Oh? How would a witch do it? Come on, let's see your little trick.
Butler, you're being rude to Beatrice.
How nice, how nice. What a charming young man. That will make it even more fun to force him into submission. Ha! You really want to make me kiss your toes that much? Only if I surrender. But watch, I'll definitely expose this trick and then I'll make you kiss my ass instead. Ah. What a delightful man. I'll remember that promise. Weak witches kiss the behinds of demons to gain power. Because there's no more humiliating oath. Just being told that makes me want to force you into surrender. Aha! Paying no mind to Batley's worthless ranting, Beatrice once again shook the golden pipe. That's right, that golden pipe was her precious magic cane. Come, arise, children. I am the guide of purgatory. Forgive the deadly sins and hold the 7 stakes. Guided by those magic words, which sounded like a command, 7 stakes gathered. They were the stakes of the 7 demons, symbolizing the deadly sins of sinful people. Beelzebub and Asmodeus, come, forgive the sins. Release the spirits of the sinners. What? The pigs of Beelzebub and Asmodeus responded to Beatrice's call. The 2 stakes of the demons were sucked through the cracks of the door like the billiard balls struck by a cue stick. Then, several scattered noises refracted through the wall, making a sound like a woodpecker. At the end, a pleasant sound could be heard. It was a small, satisfying sound, like the one they'd heard, like the one heard when someone was chopping firewood and a falling axe neatly sliced through the wood. It was the sound of the 2 picks burying themselves deep into Eva and Hideyoshi's foreheads. Right down the middle. Want to see? They've definitely heard 2 sounds like a pair of foreheads being split open. Battler wasn't permitted to see it since he was on the other side of the door. But those 2 had died again. This is the 2nd time. They lay not an inch apart from where they had lain the last time, with the exact same blood spray as before. You moron! That's insane! You think you can just kill them like that? I can kill them! I can kill them just like this! Why the fuck did Hideyoshi come out?
Hideyoshi's actually Beatrice.
Oh, ooh.
I tell you.
Damn, he fits in that dress fine. Suddenly, they were no longer in the hall, but seated at a tea party they had started from. Oh. Everyone but Battler was sitting meekly, but Kanon was moaning, fresh blood dangling from his mouth. What a rude thing to do at a tea party. Satan's stake was buried deep into Kanon's chest. Good. Kanon-kun? Kanon-kun! Damn it! Battler was the only one getting agitated. George, Jessica, Shauna, and everyone else was meekly hanging their heads, like students being yelled at by their teacher. Kanon was captivated by a trifling anger and tried to disturb my banquet. Being easily captivated by your anger is your deadly sin. Cleanse yourself.
repent and do it over.
Beatrice Summer, please forgive him. I think Canon-kun has repented enough.
Wonderful. I am generous to those who respect me.
Kihi. Don't screw with me. Do you think I'll accept your existence because of this cheap act? Like hell you're a 1,000-year-old witch. Your tricks aren't 1,000-year-olds. They're the sum of a century's classic tricks from the mystery genre. There's no such thing as magic. Definitely not. All of the crimes can be explained with human tricks. Aha. You would explain my 1,000 years with 100 years of humans. Good, good. That's why I like you.
Foolish battler.
Yeah, British Maria was there for 1 second and then left.
She's a baby girl.
She's a baby. Cut it out, Battler-kun. You can't go against the witch. Oh, she's dead. Shano-san moaning, holding her cheek. Maybe she had a toothache. A toothache! Apparently it wasn't a toothache after all. The slight redness spread across her cheek. The cheek Shannon was holding. It looked like the redness causing Shannon unbearable pain. Her fingers were pressing against her cheek as drops of sweat appeared all over her body. Shannon. Shannon. Hang in there. Hang in there. What's going on? Damn it, what the hell is this red stuff? It expanded rapidly, covering half of Shannon's face. Then, the stupid dunce battler finally realized. Please, Battler-kun. Please believe in Beatrice. I beg you. Because you won't believe. Because you won't believe. The magic is dissolving. For the first time in his life, Battler heard the sound that sounded like a pomegranate splitting. Red spray even landed on Battler's face. Poor Shannon's face had been split in half. Her last horrible moments in that storehouse were repeated once again. Hooah! Shannon! Shannon! Hooah! Damn it! Damn it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Don't humiliate the dead! Don't humiliate the dead! Ah! This time the redness spread across George's entire body. It was like a beautiful cloud drawn by milk when it's poured into black tea. It spread out and extended across his entire body. As it did, it seemed to give George increasingly greater pain. Looking at this bizarre spectacle, Battler was petrified as he frantically thought, with his pitifully clumsy imagination, about the nature of this strange death George and the rest were experiencing. Eventually, that redness reached nearby Jessica as well. Dead. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! What did Aniki do? What did Jessica do? Just stop it! Battler. Battler!
Battler!
Don't let the witch break your spirit! Deny her! Erase her! As long as one person denies her! She's an illusion that can't exist. Are you okay, Jessica? Aniki? George was no longer recognizable as a human. He looked like a pile of leftover meat after good delicious meat had been scrapped off and to be cooked. The only thing that even resembled a human was the shape of his lower jaw and ribcage. And it was clear that Jessica, who was covered with a steadily strengthening redness, was approaching the same fate.
Ibe, Battler, quickly believe in Beatrice. If you don't, everyone's magic will dissolve.
Maria, it's all over your body too. Oh, this is like what happened at the end of like the episode when Maria's jawbone was found.
I revive the dead with my magic. But as long as you don't believe, that magic will hold no true power. But I'm sure that a man like yourself won't surrender to something like this, right?
But, Battler, we didn't want to doubt our friends. We refused to face reality and gave in to the witch. But, Battler, you weren't. Give in to the witch. Nah. Jessica! Poor Jessica met the same end. Just like George, she ended up with the Butcher's leftovers. George and Jessica were now destroyed and melted, mixed up. It was impossible to tell them apart.
Battler, don't cry. Beatrice will store the dead over and over. There's nothing to be over and over. There's nothing to be sad about. So, even if we die, we're still just fine.
The redness began eating into the whole of Maria's body. The foolish battler watched and screamed. I won't forgive you. I'll never forgive you. A witch? Magic? I'll risk my body and soul to deny you. No matter what happens, I can't accept you. Now that you've gone so far to piss me off, I'll never forgive you. I won't forgive you. I won't forgive you. I definitely won't forgive you. You'll regret making me, assure me a battler, your enemy. I'll deny you no matter what. No matter how baffling things get, it can all be explained by humans. I'll erase every cell of you from this world. Well said, Battler, was it? That's just the thing to divert me from my 1,000 years of boredom. Come, explain. Try explaining it all with human tricks. And learn how lowly humans are. Let's see if what humanity has built up in 100 years can oppose my 1,000 years. That's what will make forcing you to submit so pleasant. So, tell me, who you call yourself, Battler? What about Maria's letter? How were the 6 killed? The shutter? The receipt seal? The closeted room with the chain? Kanon in the boiler room? Genji and the others in the lounge? Natsuhi's suicide? The riddle of the epitaph? The location of the hidden gold? Yes, Battler, why don't you show me the power of humans? Ah! Hell yeah.
Did you just skip through that bit, or did that just...
Nah, that went automatically.
Oh. Seizure.
Oh no, Daisuke.
Connie Springer.
Connie Springer.
A true king.
Words.
ZTS.
ZTS. BTS! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Which BTS member is Battler?
None of them.
Which one's Beatrice?
Jin.
Oh my goodness, Beatrice is my bias.
Oh my god.
Crack!
Bang!
It's still here!
Yeah.
The cracks is still here. Let's go.
Okay. What I'm gonna do, because this is going for an hour, I'm gonna end this episode. Oh. blank has been added. You can find this new feature on the title screen. Yes, so I'm gonna end this episode here, and in the next episode we're gonna start watching, reading chapter 2, because that went for an hour. Originally we thought it was gonna go for 30 minutes. That went for an hour. So
I don't know how long we thought it was, or we said it was gonna go for.
I'm pretty sure you said it was something like 30 minutes.
I think I know how long it takes for you to read stuff.
What is this question mark? I'm gonna press it. I can't be bothered pressing it. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
We love you.
Bye.